Hello, wonderful. This is Sarah. And have you ever given someone advice and then not take your own advice? And I hear a lot of women say this, and a lot of women talk about this. And they say, "Oh, I have great advice for everyone else." And I think sometimes we kind of give ourselves permission as if we're kind of doing something nice. And we are, well, I'm more worried about other people than I am myself. They should take care of themselves, but I'm not going to worry about myself. And we almost always kind of give ourselves this like false pride for doing that. But I want to push aside pride and align with integrity. Because if you want to learn to trust yourself after a toxic relationship, or learn to trust yourself in general, you're going to have to start keeping your own promises. It's really impossible to learn to trust yourself if you aren't trustworthy. Your brain is going to see the disconnect between what you say and you won't trust your ability to trust others, to distinguish between if someone is toxic or not, because your brain knows you're not really trustworthy. So I want you to think about someone who gives advice and then doesn't take it. Maybe it's the nutrition coach who's eating chocolate every night before bed, or a religious leader who has a secret sin. And it's easy to tell other people what they should do about their problems because you're not emotionally connected to those problems. But strength, integrity, doing the right thing, being a good person, being someone worthy of looking up to means solving your own problems, protecting the one person you are stuck with for life, from birth to death. It means taking your own advice and having that integrity. And I talked to a woman today. She signed up to be a wondrous woman. So I talked to a woman today, and she had had a son who had experienced some mental health issues, PTSD from war. And I said, "Oh, what advice would you give your son? Would you tell him that he should take care of himself? Or would you say, gosh, if you take care of that PTSD, if you heal that trauma, if you really do the work to heal yourself, that is really selfish. How dare you do the work to heal yourself? How dare you take that time, spend that money on yourself? You should be worried about others." Of course, a mother is not going to give her son that advice. She's going to say, "Oh my gosh, that's so great. You're taking steps to solve your own problems. That's so great. You're taking steps to heal yourself. That's so great. You're taking steps to be better." But it's so great if you do that too. It's not about putting yourself first. It's talking about leading by example. It's talking about leading in integrity. It's about not telling other people what they should do and then doing something different yourself. It's about honesty. It's about learning to trust yourself because you are trustworthy. Yes, it's easier to solve other people's problems. But is that an integrity to you? And I recently talked to another woman who was in education, and she talked about the what kids are dealing with and the struggles they're dealing with. And I said, what would happen in education if every woman, forget men right now, okay, we're just talking about women, if every woman was stable, emotionally confident, able to solve her own problems, knew her worth, focused on herself so that she led others by example and led them in integrity and learned to trust herself. What would happen to the education system if every child had that person as a mother? And she goes, "Oh my gosh, what would happen to the world?" Literally, forget men. If every mother shows up emotionally whole, stable, secure, able to be just selfish enough that they can be selfless, just selfish enough that they can be selfless. It's kind of a tongue twister. What would happen to children? What would happen to the world? And what would happen to you and your life if you learn to protect the one woman you are stuck with for life, which is you? So the challenge today is to take your own advice and to learn to build that trust in yourself, because your brain knows you are trustworthy and you're going to follow through on choosing you. Have a great day.